My name is Susan Talve. I'm a rabbi in the city of St. Louis. I've been in St. Louis for 35 years, but the congregation that I helped to found is in the actual city of St. Louis. It's 31 years old. It's called Central Reform Congregation. And we went from being 30 households in 1984 to being almost 800 households today. Well, anybody who comes to Song Leader Boot Camp knows that the music is incredible. The ruach, the spirit, the compassion, the love, the great relationships that people form here is really something spectacular. It's amazing what happens in just a few days. But it's important, I think, for me to say that I'm not a singer and I'm not a musician, and I still get a lot from Song Leader Boot Camp. I think my role has been to, as a congregational rabbi, to bring tools of leadership to the table and to have conversations not just in the sessions, like I just had a session on how to create a compassionate community. And I think people come here as leaders from their communities from all over the United States and Israel as well. That people come here to figure out how to bring tools home to their communities. What can we learn from each other? What can we share that we can then bring home? So it's not just about the wonderful experience that people have here. It's about really developing tools that we can use when we go home in our own communities. I think we're at a critical time in Jewish history. I think we feel that things are changing. We have to get outside of our comfort zones in some ways to look at the way that we're doing prayer, to look at the way that we are welcoming people into our communities. There are people here from all kinds of denominations within Judaism, different levels of practice, different forms of practice, different ideas about God or not God. You know, you've got a wonderful rainbow array of people with all kinds of different beliefs, making space for each other, making a safe, welcoming, respectful space for each other. And you feel that it's safe. And it's safe to have unsafe ideas. It's safe to have different ideas. It's very respectful. People are practicing how to have dialogues, courageous conversations about things that they differ on without making them disputations. And you know, it's very unusual. I'm always a little surprised because I see all these musicians walking around with their little CDs, you know, and you would think there would be more competition, but there is not a sense of competition here. It is really a wonderfully collaborative and cooperative environment. And instead of people who you would expect to be singing louder and trying to get their idea in, I experience here perhaps one of the greatest values that we have in our tradition, and that is not only this notion of radical hospitality, making space for everybody, but Shema. There is some great listening that goes on here, and space for the listening. I love the space that's given to listening. If you are looking to learn and to fill your toolbox with wonderful opportunities to take home to inspire your community, SLBC is for you.